farm friends! So in today's video we're going to be talking all about how to hand milk a goat. So for you that are wanting to learn, or we've had requests of what our process is, what products we use. So today we'll take you through all of that step by step, and hopefully it'll be helpful. So the first and most important thing, well, after the goat, of course that's the most important thing, is a good sturdy stanchion, so a milking stand. So you want to be sure that you have that set in order before you bring your milking goat home or before she kids, so that this process can go as smoothly as possible for both of you. And then we have our grain bin ready, filled for our girl, and then we like a stainless steel backdrop so that we can keep it wiped down. We sanitize this after every use. Here are the supplies I use. I have ready paper towels, then fresh clean washcloths, and I like to get the light colored or white so that I can bleach them every time. I use an all-natural wash for washing their udders to prep them, one that has essential oils in it. I have found this best for me and my animals. It has really kept their udders from drying out, but really keeps them clean as well. Then for after, you will see how we will use this Fight Back antibacterial spray, antiseptic spray, and this will help while the orifice is open. It'll help keep things from bacteria from getting in there and causing mastitis. So we have our bucket of warm water. I've put 2 pumps of this soap in there, and then we will go ahead and put a washcloth in. And you'll see what we do with that. Then I have a catch container, and I like using something white or stainless steel, something you can clearly see the first couple squirts of milk so you can analyze that. Then I have my 3-quart pot here. I have a clean sterilized mason jar. All of these things have been sterilized with bleach, so very important. And these are the filters that I use here. They are inserted into my funnel, and then I have an additional metal filter in there. So with very clean hands, you want to go ahead and put the filter on top of the mason jar for straining your milk. So something that's very important for us on our farm when we're milking is sanitation, because this is a product that we're consuming raw, and we use it raw when we make our cheese. So we want to make sure that everything is kept as sterile as possible, everything that we touch, everything that the milk touches. So part of that process is wearing a hat, and if you have any kind of cold, putting a mask on. If you have any cuts on your hand, make sure you wear gloves. That's not only for your protection, but also for the goat's udders protection as well. So just some things to keep in mind. So here's our first girl. This is Miss Rhea. She's a first freshener. So she's, that means that this is her first time kidding. Off with is brushing her off. So this not only is a good time to check your goat out, just to see what, is going on, and giving her a once over. You notice I don't have her grain down yet, because if you put the grain down, immediately they're going to start eating, and you want to make sure that they're focused on that when you're milking. That'll help you out. So we go ahead and brush her off, and then this also helps if there's any debris, loose hair, anything they could have gotten on them when they were outside that you, again, don't want going into your milk. So then we want to make sure that we do the underside, the underbelly, and we're going to go away from the udder when we do that. So we're going to brush everything away from the udder. Okay, now I'm going to wash my hands real well. So now we have our warm soapy water. We're going to take our rag, squeeze it out a little bit, and then we're going to really clean that udder. And flip it around and just do the teats with that clean side after. And then with your other clean rag, you're going to take it and dry the udder and the teats off. You want both the udder and the teats and also your hands to be dry once you start milking. Next, we want to flush out the duct. We want to open up that orifice, and that's the opening at the bottom of their teat. And we want to flush it out, any bacteria that could be on the ends, but then also examine the first few squirts of milk to make sure it's clean, there's no blood, nothing that you wouldn't want going into your milk pail. So we'll go ahead and give 3 good squirts. And that looks exactly like it should. Nice, clean, beautifully white milk. Does as well. So now I'm going to place a clean paper towel down so the surface of my milking pot stays clean, because remember, anything that gets on the bottom of this and you pour, it could potentially get into your milk, so you don't want that. So she's clean, my hands are clean, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So oftentimes, and I know this was definitely something I struggled with when I started, is I was so worried about hurting them. All you have to do is observe the kids and how they're treating their mama's udders to realize that these gals are pretty tough. And you really have to squeeze hard in order to get the milk out. So what I'm doing is I'm actually trapping the milk in the teat. I'm pinching it off here and I'm squeezing down. You're gathering the milk at the tip and then you're squeezing it out. So your hand should not be pulling whatsoever. You see that in movies, but that's really not accurate. You'll actually hurt your dough if you do that. Dwarfs to use 2 fingers, but once you empty them out a little bit more, you can grasp higher up in the udder, and that will help you get a better grip to be able to squeeze. Use a few more fingers in the process. It is a workout, so be patient with yourself when you start out, because your hands will be sore and that can be a challenge, but just be patient, you'll gain strength. And I'm going to take my milk and just place it up on my clean counter, and before I do anything else, so that this step does not get missed, you want to be sure to spray their teats with the Fight Back. So you go right at the bottom of the teat, don't touch it, but you're just going to want to spray that open orifice to help prevent any bacteria from going in. So then you right away want to strain the milk into your jar. And again, this is all very, very clean, and you want to make sure it stays that way. So in between milkings, I've gone ahead and with my clean rag, I've covered my pot, and I've also covered my filter with my jar so that nothing gets in there. And I also want to mention that if at any time during the process your dough kicks or puts her foot in your pot, you want to make sure that you dump that milk, go ahead and bleach out anything that she touched, and start over again. You could always give that milk, say you milked for a while and you had a substantial amount, you could always, if you have pigs or chickens, it's an excellent source of nutrients for them. So don't waste it. Go ahead and give it to them, but just don't consume it yourself. Just because you want to be careful if you're consuming it raw that no extra bacteria that you don't want in there gets in the milk.
Sometimes chickens sneak in too. She does the program.
Before, give them a nice brush down, away from the udder. Go ahead and give her her grain, and we feed all organically, so I mix up a few different feeds that I like. Washing my hands well. Soapy water. I'm gonna change this out every second or third goat to make sure that both the rag remains clean and the soapy water that I use does as well. All right, so this girl, this is her second Freshen. So this was her second time kidding. And I might mention this is the evening when I'm milking, and I'm milking earlier than I normally would in the evening because I want to do this video for y'all. So these girls are not nearly as full as they normally would be, especially like first thing in the morning and in the evening at their normal time. So again, I'm trapping that milk. I'm getting up a little higher since her teats are larger. And I'm trapping that milk and then I'm squeezing down. I can use more fingers, several fingers with her because of her larger teats. We're trapping the milk, squeezing down, keeping our hands in the same position, not tugging on her udder or tugging on her teats at all. So I'm gonna spray, and this girl tends to jump because it's cold and she doesn't like it. So I'll just place my hand right here on her gently so she doesn't hop too high. And if, there we go. Good girl. So then another important thing that you want to do right away, even if you think you'll remember to do it later, is to go ahead and get a Sharpie and put the date down on your milk so that you know when that milk was collected. And then you want to pop it in the refrigerator as soon as possible. So then you want to continue your cleaning process, making sure anything, so I go ahead and I have a diluted bleach spray. So anything that I have touched, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or I also have an antibacterial spray that I will use as well. But remember, anything and anywhere that the milk could have sprayed, you want to make sure that you sanitize to keep bacteria away. And then this is something that often gets missed, maybe, by ones, is you want to go ahead and spray this because you have also touched this, right? Don't give up, even if it's a challenge at the beginning. Just keep taking deep breaths, be patient with yourself. Remember to tell your doe that she's being a good girl. The calmer you are, she senses that. If you get tense and frustrated, she's going to sense that as well. So another helpful tip, you didn't see me doing it today, but is singing to your doe. When you sing to them when you're milking, it calms you, but it also calms them as well, and that will help with the whole process. So like I said, don't give up. It is definitely worth it. The product you're going to get, especially if you can feed organically. I love one of the feeds that we'll use is Scratch and Peck, and their motto is you are what your animals eat. And so if you're consuming the product, you just want to make sure that you're giving the best that you can to your animals so that they are healthy and happy, and in turn give you back that healthy, amazing product. So something else that's very important for proper herd health is not only great nutrition, but also making sure that you test your herd. We here at Wildflower Moon Farm test for a number of diseases, some that can even be passed on to humans annually. So you can go to our website, wildflowermoonfarm.com, and check out the testing that we do. And if you're consuming your product, I highly recommend that you guys do the same thing with your herd. So enjoy and have a wonderful experience with your goats and with your farm. All right, please don't forget to subscribe and like. We're on Instagram, Facebook, we're at Wildflower Moon Farm, and you can check out our other YouTube videos. And please, as I always ask, just keep comments positive. I know this method might not be the method that you use, and maybe there was a lot of things in your opinion that I was doing wrong. I'm always open to suggestions and advice. I love to constantly learn. But let's just be nice and kind to each other and support one another. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day.